Hi everyone, welcome to DOdaily Wednesday workout. Des here, looking to instill a little bit of midweek motivation, a few thoughts to take into the rest of the week, to check in how it's been going so far and what I can do to take all the good stuff forward and perhaps drain out some of the not so good stuff. Not been too much of that recently, feeling really positive still. If you've watched any of the episodes this week, please do check back. You'll know that my spirits are high, getting plenty of good feeling from the amount of activity I'm doing. Monday motivation, I was out there getting my first one of the week. Yesterday, I had a little bit of a rest, and whilst I was comfortable in that episode talking about the importance of that rest yesterday, having had a cheeky glass of wine or two, it was important for me to really get back at it today. Of course, I had the accountability of the running club I do here in Nottingham, being around the guys, plenty taking part, perfect inspiration, but have been feeling tired after yesterday, so it would have been easy to let that little rest become something more than it was. But thankfully, I can report back in that it was just a rest. Been out, done 10k tonight. Legs are really aching now, but it was just good to sort of be content in the fact that I took the rest, I got back on it. Those are the things that sometimes sort of hold progress. They can become a little bit too much of a rest, and then the habit starts setting in. So back into the habit of getting out there. Still absolutely loving it. Of course, on a Wednesday, I will always look to encourage activity. I always try to encourage a bit of time out to do the things we enjoy. But for me, it's activity. It's this running group I've been doing now for the best part of 7 years. 6 years, sorry, just over 6 years. And my own running journey has been 7 years. So it's this that keeps me going. The whole reason for starting that in the first place was to break up the week. And that's what I tried to do on a Wednesday. I tried to break things up. Before I go any further, what I will say, please give this episode a thumbs up if you enjoy what I've got to say, if you enjoy the purpose of DOdaily, and of course, subscribe to the channel. The purpose is to try and offer an honest and relatable perspective on how my life's going, to try and help other very normal people who might be experiencing similar things. I try and throw in a little bit of encouragement to do activity, but more positivity and enthusiasm for the things we love. As I spoke about before there, it's about finding the things that work for us right now. The running is key. Today, like I say, a little bit worried that my motivation was waning, just feeling a bit lethargic from 1 or 2 glasses of wine, as I mentioned. So just worried that I was not feeling it before I went out. The weather turned slightly, but again, got myself ready, told myself I was doing it, encouraged Kate to do it as well. She was waning a little bit and she managed to get her run in, so kind of working off each other there, and it's just so important for us to do that. Whilst I was out, I was doing what I always say, what I've already said on this episode tonight. I was taking a bit of time to think about how things are going. Running is brilliant for that anyway. Running is great for headspace and being alone with your thoughts. But when you purposely do it as well, of course, I always try to process what's happened during the day. And I've mentioned already this week, I don't want to go on about it because it is what it is. But work's busy. It's created a lot of scenarios that I'm having to deal with, relatively inexperienced. But it's given me confidence as well to take into everything else I'm doing. Relishing the challenge with that, which helps me when it comes to sort of fighting back with my training, with my activity levels, and with the things I know that I need to do. Sometimes the first things we don't do are the things we know we need to do. So like I say, today it would have been easy almost to think, well, I'm feeling tired still, I'll give myself another day's rest. That would have been the easy option. The hard bit was to get myself motivated, to get myself in the right headspace. It's hard running 10k, it was a tough route, but it's not as hard as getting yourself to do it sometimes. So really pleased with that. Like I say, using what's happening at work, the busyness there, the challenge to sort of switch off from, get out for a run. One of the reasons I get out for the runs, and I'm finding it a bit easier at the moment to switch from one to the other, is because I know it's a great way of me leaving certain things sort of behind me for the time being, you know. And again, these are all things I've spoke about over time on DOdaily. These are all sort of experiences and feelings and thoughts I've had, and I've explained to the nth degree. But again, it's that perfect reminder, isn't it? All I'm trying to do here is just remind people that things aren't always straightforward, and even the most sensible and straightforward and the pieces of advice or information we take forward all the time, you know, we can easily just neglect, I guess, you know. Familiarity breeds contempt and all that, and I think it's been a case of that for me. Doing all the things I do, it's getting me on here as well late at night. All these challenges throughout the day, and the training, and then the endorphins kick in. It's getting me on, processing my thoughts, and of course that's something I want to do. I want to get back to that daily routine. This is DOdaily after all. I work off these daily motivations. If I'm talking to myself with these positive sort of slogans, Monday motivation, Tuesday training, Wednesday workout, you know, attack the day on a Friday, all these kind of things, I'm starting on the right foot, and it just feels like that right now. I'm working at it slowly. Lots of things have happened recently, lots of changes in my life, which have all been for the good on the face of it, but sometimes it takes a little bit of adapting to whatever's happened, and we can put pressure on ourselves, and we can sort of lose sight of where we are. But I put a post out connected to my London Marathon fundraiser. I'll put that link on, by the way, in the comments if anyone wants to support that. Again, I feel confident enough to sort of tell people, look, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm at. But I put a post out about that saying the running again is giving me real direction and purpose, and that's so important. As much as I try to explain that it's the drug for me, it works, it does this, that and the other, you know, it gives me purpose and direction. And again, with the fundraising, you know, I've got that's a challenge within itself. Me and Kev made a commitment to raise even more for Childhood First, but it's what we enjoy doing. It's what we do, you know. It's what we've sort of built our relationship around, and how we tackle things. And again, it was brilliant today. One of the real pluses to come from today was motivating myself to the point to say, come on, just do it. But then making sure Kay did it as well. She was talking about maybe doing it tomorrow. She won't mind me saying, but she did it tonight. And then we feel so much better for the fact that we've got this, I won't say long run, but you know, a distance over 5k in midweek. They're all important ones to the bigger picture, and it's like anything, isn't it? It's trying to understand how everything fits into the process. Yesterday, that rest day was essential. Today was about getting back on it, getting back into that sort of into that determined mind frame and taking it forward. And that's whether I'm talking about running as a Wednesday workout with the Do Running guys, or whether I'm fundraising, or whether I'm talking about work. It's about enjoying the process as well, isn't it? What is sent to testers and triers and can be difficult at times, you know, is also us building knowledge and experience of how to deal with things going forward, how to deal with it in the future. So feels like a case of that right now. I started the week this week by saying that I've kind of reset back to things that worked, and tried to sort of dig deep and get to the core of why I did them and how I went about it. But as the week goes on, the whole thing is almost starting to flourish and bloom, and I'm starting to think forward again. And when we're in a good place, when we're positive, when we're enthusiastic about what we're doing, it's about moving forward. I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks. My training, you know, I know what I'm going to do in London. I know where I'm going to go with my activity. It's not going to be the fastest. It's going to be a case of getting round, but then I want to take it forward again. But when I sort of can understand that, realise that, you know, that's what it makes me content and satisfied with where I'm at right now. So I know what the bigger picture is going to be going forward. You know, I'm enjoying the process right now. And that's crucial, isn't it? Because as soon as we've done one thing, we're on to the next process. So whilst I look at these sort of ups and downs and the flip side to all sorts of situations, of course, a big motivation of mine is to keep good mental health. I tend to do that. I tend not to get too low about too much right now. Of course it happens. I'm not a robot. We're creatures of emotion, so I do get low at times, but I feel I'm working to a point where things are working for me again. And when they're working for me, I can work on myself, and I can work on trying to do things to encourage others. And that's all I'm trying to do, guys. Trying to encourage people to have a positive frame of mind, perhaps sort of not reinvent themselves, but sort of reform thoughts a little bit. Only because I've done it. I'm not asking people to do anything I've not done before. Strong focus on mental health, but I don't try not to preach, try not to use anyone else as an example. It's just a way of looking in. Nobody needs to feel uncomfortable. It's just an honest, realistic, and hopefully relatable take on my day, and the things I do. I'll be back tomorrow with Thursday Thoughts. If you've got any questions about anything I've said, if you want me to dig a bit deeper into any of the serious stuff, or you got any questions about what I enjoy or experience I've had in the past, anything about current affairs or anything silly, really happy to answer that. Thursdays are just a light-hearted way of taking a bit of time out, getting even further out my comfort zone with the live episode, just to do something that little bit different and hopefully interact with people that might be looking in. Of course, I'm trying to build the channel. It'd be great to get your support on that. Absolutely anything, like I say. Don't forget, thumbs up for this episode, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep doing what I do. Hopefully you get the chance to take a step back today, think about how you can take the good things forward. I can have a positive end to the week, even if it's not started too well. If it's going well, keep doing what you're doing until that episode, that live. Don't forget those questions. Just doing it.